So, have you heard about Korea? How about those war games? I really like them.
You never change.
Korea, den vi
I really like what Kim Jong's done with the country.
Ah, right.
Historians are all fools. The mere victory of capitalism over communism, for instance. The only one that wasn't surprised was God.
Go ahead and tell him. Give us a try.
It was the tag end of 1841 and God was hanging out in his favorite Manchester pub. He was disguised as just another regular working man.
Good evening, Lucifer. If you insist on possessing the bodies of my children, why do you choose such unhealthy ones?
Get used to it. All the best people are going to be fat now. This new machinery thing I got is going to be good for centuries.
Till the 1970s, more or less. The rich will be the only ones with enough leisure to exercise. Then the middle class will start to imitate their slenderness.
Yeah, right. But then I'll make it so that it's in vogue for the rich to be darkly sunburned. Then when the heart attacks let up, I'll get them with skin cancer.
And colitis.
It really spoils my fun, you know, when you flaunt your omniscience that way.
It'd be better if you remembered it more often, Lucifer. I'm always a step ahead of you.
Don't I know it? That whole business with Joe?
Still harping on that?
Because I still think you cheated. You knew from the start that he wouldn't curse your name.
Yes, and I told you that I knew it, but you just didn't believe me.
My mistake. Buy me a pint.
By your own.
Good sir, a pint for my dear friend and myself. Miss, this is for you.
Well, I gotta hand it to you. You created something ugly here in England, and it'll spread, almost bad as slavery in America. It'll take me decades to heal the damage. Oh yes, I can. I can heal it all, and you know I will. This miserable thing with capitalism, it's so obviously unfair. Good people will rebel against it. I can have it broken up within a century.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
I feel another wager coming.
We haven't had a good one in a while, since Job, and I came pretty close there.
Lucifer, you know I always know the outcome. Why do you still bet?
Ah. But that's one of the terms of the wager. You have to close your eyes.
Close my eyes?
You have to promise not to know how things will turn out.
Wouldn't you just love if I agreed to that?
Just for a century and a half, until the beginning of 1992. Then, you can be president again. What can I do in 150 years?
Good question. What can you do in 150 years?
I wager that in 1992, I'll have things worse than they are now. And the best part, all the best people will think that they're better.
Those are pretty vague terms.
I'll be more specific. I bet that by 1992, I can have it so that everywhere decent people think that capitalism is the best and fairest and most wonderful economic system in the world.
Oh, such nonsense.
And even better, I'll make it so that people think that your way of doing things, sharing the world's wealth equally and fairly, it'll be the most brutal, unfair economic system in the world.
The only way you could do that if you turn the human race stupider than baboons.
Do I have a bet then? No peeking, no seeing in the future. It's not fair you knowing it when I've already set my plans into motion.
No coercion, no possession. You can only do it by your milder methods.
Lies. And greed. and the lust for power.
And I can work against you the whole time.
As long as you keep your hands off too. And no peeking into the future.
And you think you're so smart.
You made it that way.
I thought you might make life more interesting.
I know. That was before you started to care about these people.
I always cared about them.
In fact, my dear God Almighty, I believe that it is only because I made them so miserable and ignorant that you have compassion for them. Admit it. You were bored with them when they were back in the garden.
I was lonely for company.
And I wasn't good enough for you.
You're not company. You're the competition.
Is the bet on?
What are the stakes?
If I win, I get to destroy the world next time.
Out of the question.
Come on, old chap. You know that if I win this bet, you'll have to wipe it out and start all over again. Just like in the time of Noah.
I had to suspend all the laws of physics and chemistry to cover the whole world with water. You don't have that power.
See? You've got nothing to worry about.
I know you have a trick up your sleeve.
See? And if you really wanted to, you could pluck it out and you'd see all my plans. But you'll play fair, won't you?
And you won't.
But you're God.
And you want my job.
No. I just don't want your job to exist.
Even if we end up destroying all of humanity, I will still be God, Lucifer.
Yes, but I'll break your heart.
I think human beings are smarter and better than you give them credit for. It's a bet.
Huzzah! Wonderful! You're such a good man, old chap. And they say you were a stick in the mud. If only they knew you the way I did.
So, what's the punchline?
No punchline. I just thought you ought to have your facts straight. Not even God knew.
Right, like I'm supposed to believe this. I know when I'm being made fun of.
Oh, do you? I thought that since you were so intimately familiar with the corridors of power, you might want to know what real power is.
You made your point. You're just another snobby Brit playing down the American and feeling oh so clever about it.
But that's not it at all. For one thing, I'm not British. It's my friend here who thinks you're an asshole.
Oh yeah?
Never mind him. He's not British either. He's in a bad mood. Just lost a bet, you see.
Lost a bet.
He thought he understood all of my plans. He watched me package up social justice as communism. Then, he thought he understood what I was doing with the Communist Party in Russia. But it became a horrid place to live. He never grasped it.
Oh, I grasped it all right. You set up a system in Russia under the name of communism, but had it function like the worst kind of capitalism.
They would win by preaching your theories, but when they governed, they practiced mine. It was as if Windows had bought all the other companies in the world, and you couldn't get a job unless you worked for them. Capitalism to perfection. And the best part? They were all commies.
Deception is a cheap trick.
Oh, I watched him work hard as he tried to tame capitalism in the US and Europe. I tried to oppose him enough so that he thought that I was against what he was doing, but he was playing right into my hands.
You're a graceless winner.
Then, a few years back, he thinks he's got me beat with Gorbachev. Not very subtle, though, killing off 3 old coots in rapid succession like that. How obvious can you get?
Just because you wish that you could do it.
He frees Eastern Europe, and he has the Soviet Union eating out of his hands. That's when he realizes the trap I've sprung on him. Just when he thought he defeated me, that's when he realized that I made his own actions work against him.
I knew it earlier than that.
Because when he broke down my system, it completely discredited his values, and the capitalists that he had tamed so well in the West were breaking down the regulations that kept them in check. And then the victorious capitalists will be doing my work for me. They believe that capitalism defeated communism when the opposite was the truth. They'll be racing to embrace a free market. There truly will be hell on earth.
Oh, shut up.
You leftists are such bad losers.
And the sweetest irony is, even his own churches are going along with it. I won! I won! I won!
Yes, you did.
So now I get to do it. Such a simple thing, really. I'll take the old nuclear weapons from the Soviet Union. I'll put them in the hands of everyone who hates someone else.
But you forget, now I get to look ahead into the future.
Oh, of course. But there is no future to look into.
Are you guys out of your minds?
Enough to make you want to OD, isn't it?
Maybe I won't destroy it. I don't have to. The wager was, if I decide to destroy it, you get to.
Weasel all you want. Leave it forever. I don't mind. It's just misery and oppression, poverty and bitter injustice all through the world. It'll get worse and worse, and then you'll decide to destroy them all. Then I get to do it.
I thought of wiping everything clean, starting over yet again, and yet it just made me tired. Why couldn't these humans just once see through his lies? They spit into my face once too often. Why should I save them once again? Or at least, that's how I felt then. I don't feel so depressed today. Maybe by tomorrow I'll have my hope back. Maybe I'll have the heart to set out and fight him on every front. Or maybe I'll just take the easy way and delay him long enough to find my Noah and get the ship ready. It'll have to be a starship this time. That'll take longer, but I can probably do it. I mean, I am omnipotent. When it comes down to that, I really don't like to lose.